Welcome. Here's something to think about. Could the financial advisor you trust, the one guiding your retirement, have a massive blind spot? It's a big question, and we're going to dig into it right now. You know those letters you see after a financial professional's name? CFP, CFA, CPA. They look impressive, right? And they should. It gives you this sense of confidence, this feeling that you're in good hands for, your biggest financial goal, retirement. But here's the thing. What if that incredible expertise, as valuable as it is, comes with a kind of built-in blind spot? Let's take a look and see if the advice you might be getting is really the whole story. Okay, so Section 1, the promise of expertise, and why we trust these financial designations. And look, let's be super clear here. These certifications, they're the real deal. They mean someone has put in a ton of work, a ton of study, especially when it comes to the world of investments and making your money grow. But here's the catch. All that expertise can sometimes create what you might call an illusion of superiority. The credential itself doesn't automatically mean you're getting the most comprehensive advice. Why? Well, because that tough coursework, it's often laser-focused on just one piece of the puzzle, market returns. And that might mean other powerful tools for secure retirement get left on the shelf. All right, next up, an advisor's blind spot. We're going to talk about what's called the fiduciary double standard. See, this intense focus on just investments can create a really tricky situation, almost a conflict of interest. Let's break down what that actually means for you. This quote really gets to the heart of it. A fiduciary, their whole job is to act in your best interest. But think about this. What happens if they're only trained to use a hammer? Everything looks like a nail, right? If their toolbox only contains investment products, they might completely overlook the insurance-based tools that were literally built to solve the biggest retirement risks. So why does this happen? It all comes down to what's called the investment-only model. This way of thinking is completely focused on market returns, on asset growth. Insurance products, well, they play by a different set of rules. They're all about pooling risk and giving you a contractual, rock-solid guarantee. It's like trying to fit a square peg into a round hole. It just doesn't fit neatly into that traditional investment-only worldview. Okay, let's make this real. Guaranteed versus unguaranteed, a tale of two retirements. This is where the rubber meets the road, where we see how this blind spot can have a massive impact on your actual spendable income in retirement. All right, picture this. You've done everything right. You've saved up $1 million for retirement. Awesome. Now, how do you turn that into an income? Well, on one side, you've got the standard investment advice, the famous 4% rule. On the other side, you've got an insurance-based solution, like a guaranteed annuity. Let's see how they stack up. So, the 4% rule says you can pull out $40,000 a year. Sounds okay, right? But hold on, that's before fees. And here's the big one. That income is totally at the mercy of the stock market. If the market has a bad year or a few bad years, you might have to cut back your spending. Or even worse, you could start eating into your principal and risk running out of money way too soon. Now, let's look at the other side. With an insurance solution, like an annuity with what's called a guaranteed lifetime withdrawal benefit, you could be looking at $70,000 a year. And the best part? That number is contractually guaranteed. For life. It's a paycheck that shows up every year, no matter what the markets are doing. That's a huge difference. And it's not just about income. The same kind of thinking applies to long-term care. The typical investment-only advice is to self-insure. Basically, you just hope for the best and plan to pay those huge, potentially catastrophic costs straight from your nest egg. That puts everything you've saved at risk. The protected approach? It uses specialized insurance products to wall off that risk and protect your savings for your family. So what's the big idea here? The power of certainty. We're talking about why these contractual guarantees matter so much. Look, insurance products are designed for one thing and one thing only, to take risk off your plate and put it onto the shoulders of a big insurance company. They're specifically built to tackle the biggest fears in retirement. What if the market crashes? What if I live to be 100 and run out of money? What if a huge long-term care bill wipes out my entire life savings? Insurance is designed to answer those what-ifs. Okay, this table is really fascinating. It kind of lays out what you might call advisor hypocrisy. Think about it. An advisor will tell you all day long to diversify your stocks and bonds. Great advice. But why not also diversify your risk by using insurance? They'll talk about tax efficiency through Roth conversions, but maybe they don't mention using tax-free loans from life insurance. And the big one, they'll rely on safe withdrawal rates, which are just guidelines, not guarantees. but then ignore products that offer an actual contractual guarantee. It's inconsistent, right?
All right, let's bring it all home. Securing your retirement. This is about you taking control of your financial future. And it all boils down to one critical question you need to be asking.
And here it is. If there are tools out there, tools that can give you more income with better protection and ironclad guarantees, is an advisor who ignores those tools really acting in your best interest? The big takeaway is that a true fiduciary, a truly comprehensive plan, has to look at everything. Every single tool in the toolbox, not just the ones they're comfortable with. At the end of the day, this is about putting you in the driver's seat. It's about making sure you know all the options on the table, so you can build a retirement that isn't just about hoping for growth, but is built on a foundation of certainty and real peace of mind. So if anything we've talked about today has you thinking, or maybe you just want a second opinion that looks at the whole picture, investments, insurance, estate planning, the whole shebang, that's what we do here at The Annuity Expert. We're here to help you connect all the dots. And we really believe everyone should have access to this kind of comprehensive advice. That's why we offer free quotes, free comparisons. We'll help you see all the options out there. Our services are always completely free to you. Look, your retirement is just too important to leave to chance or to a plan with blind spots. Why not get a second opinion? It's free, there's no obligation. Give us a call at 770-755-1565, or you can find us online at annuityexpertadvice.com. We'd love to talk. Thanks so much for your time today.